NASA's Crew-9 homecoming, Starliner's role in the future of space travel. Houston, Texas. The skies over Houston lit up with excitement as NASA's Crew-9 astronauts safely returned home after their mission aboard the International Space Station, ISS. Their return aboard Boeing's Starliner spacecraft marked yet another milestone in NASA's ongoing efforts to expand human spaceflight capabilities through partnerships with commercial aerospace companies. Among the returning astronauts were Commander Butch Wilmore, pilot Suni Williams, and mission specialist Nick Hague, who arrived back on Earth via SpaceX's Crew Dragon, Freedom, on Tuesday evening, March 18. Their return was not just a moment of celebration but a demonstration of how NASA is utilizing multiple spacecraft, both Boeing's Starliner and SpaceX's Crew Dragon, to maintain a continuous human presence in space. The event underscored the critical role of commercial partnerships in ensuring reliable transportation for astronauts to and from the ISS. As NASA shifts toward deep space exploration goals, including Artemis missions to the Moon and eventual human missions to Mars, the success of Crew-9 represents a significant step forward. A hero's welcome in Houston. The returning astronauts received a warm welcome upon their arrival at Houston's Ellington Field, where NASA officials, family members, and enthusiastic supporters gathered to celebrate their safe return. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson praised the mission's success, stating, "The safe return of Crew-9 aboard Starliner and Crew Dragon is a testament to our advancements in human spaceflight. These missions prove that our partnerships with Boeing and SpaceX are working, and they are paving the way for a future where we can regularly send astronauts beyond Earth's orbit." For astronauts like Wilmore, Williams, and Hague, the mission represented more than just another spaceflight. It was a demonstration of Starliner's viability as a crew transport vehicle and a critical step toward expanding commercial spaceflight options. The event also highlighted the growing role of Houston as the epicenter of human spaceflight operations. The Johnson Space Center continues to be the hub for astronaut training, mission control, and future deep space operations. The significance of Crew-9's mission. The Crew-9 mission was part of NASA's Commercial Crew Program, an initiative that aims to work with private aerospace companies to develop multiple options for space travel. By utilizing both Boeing's Starliner and SpaceX's Crew Dragon, NASA ensures redundancy in space transportation, meaning that if one vehicle encounters issues, astronauts still have a backup option to reach and return from space. The astronauts spent months aboard the ISS conducting cutting-edge research, technology demonstrations, and station maintenance, all aimed at ensuring the longevity and sustainability of human presence in orbit. Scientific breakthroughs conducted in microgravity. One of the primary objectives of Crew-9 was to carry out experiments that can only be performed in microgravity. Some of the most notable studies included human biology experiments, studying how prolonged exposure to microgravity affects bone density, muscle atrophy, and cardiovascular health, critical research for long-term space missions to the Moon and Mars. Advanced materials science, testing new materials that could be used for radiation shielding and spacecraft construction in future interplanetary missions. Growing food in space, investigating plant growth in space using hydroponic techniques, a crucial step toward developing sustainable food sources for deep space missions. Pharmaceutical research, conducting drug development experiments in space to understand how microgravity impacts the formation of medicines that could help fight diseases like Parkinson's and osteoporosis. Astronaut Nick Hague described the importance of their work aboard the ISS. "Every experiment we conducted aboard the station contributes to the bigger picture, helping us understand how we can survive and thrive in space for extended periods. The research we do today lays the foundation for future astronauts who will travel to the Moon and Mars." Starliner's journey and its growing role in spaceflight. Boeing's Starliner spacecraft, which successfully brought Crew-9 home, has had a long road to operational readiness. The spacecraft was developed as part of NASA's Commercial Crew Program to provide a second option alongside SpaceX's Crew Dragon for crewed missions to the ISS. Despite facing technical setbacks, including software glitches, propulsion issues, and launch delays, Boeing has worked extensively with NASA to refine Starliner's design. The Crew-9 mission was a crucial demonstration of Starliner's capabilities and its readiness for future operational flights. NASA's Commercial Crew Program Manager, Steve Stick, emphasized Starliner's role in ensuring reliable crew transportation. With 2 spacecraft now certified to carry astronauts, we have greater flexibility and redundancy. Having both Starliner and Crew-Dragon ensures that we can support long-term space missions without relying on a single provider. Unlike previous spacecraft, Starliner is designed for reusability. Its ability to launch, return, and be refurbished for multiple flights makes it a cost-effective option for continued space travel. The spacecraft's autonomous flight capabilities, improved safety systems, and modular design make it a key player in NASA's long-term space strategy. SpaceX's Crew-Dragon, Freedom, and NASA's growing commercial fleet. While Starliner brought home some members of Crew-9, SpaceX's Crew-Dragon, Freedom, was also integral to the mission, carrying Butch Wilmore, Suni Williams, and Nick Hague back to Earth on March 18. SpaceX's Crew-Dragon has become a workhorse for NASA's commercial crew missions, having already transported multiple astronaut crews to the ISS since its debut in 2020. With its proven reliability, automated docking system, and reusable design, Crew-Dragon remains a cornerstone of NASA's human spaceflight program. The parallel operation of both Starliner and Crew-Dragon demonstrates NASA's successful shift toward a multi-provider strategy, ensuring that astronauts always have reliable transport options. The road ahead, NASA's ambitions beyond low Earth orbit. With Crew-9's mission completed, NASA is already looking toward the future. Upcoming missions will focus on continued ISS operations, using Starliner and Crew-Dragon to support a rotating crew presence on the space station. Artemis lunar missions. NASA's Artemis program aims to land astronauts on the Moon by 2026, using new spacecraft like the Orion capsule and SpaceX's Starship for deep space exploration. Human Mars missions. Research conducted on the ISS is laying the foundation for eventual crewed missions to Mars, expected in the 2030s. Expanding commercial spaceflight. As companies like Boeing, SpaceX, and Blue Origin develop their own space stations, NASA envisions a future where commercial space travel becomes routine. NASA officials have already begun planning for Crew-10 and beyond, with future missions expected to leverage both Starliner and Crew-Dragon in new ways. Conclusion: a new era of spaceflight. Crew-9's homecoming is more than just the end of a mission, it's a symbol of how far human spaceflight has come and where it's headed next. With multiple spacecraft now capable of safely carrying astronauts.